Is the Luminark of Hysh any good? This unit is hot, being a fantasy chariot-mounted laser and all, but it's been through buffs and nerfs over the course of the Total War Warhammer franchise. Here in Shadows of Change, is it a battlefield joke or a sick burn? Let's find out. Please like, subscribe, comment on my humor, and consider joining to my Ko-fi page. Last time you pointed out I was using Outrider stats for the grenade launcher variant. Oops, but I live and learn thanks to you pointing things out. Thanks. Costing 1,700 to recruit and weighing in at 4,648 hit points on Ultra. The Luminark is a single entity with 60 armor, 60 leadership, 50 speed, which I recognize from the old days, and a melee attack of 12. Yeah, 12. Got a problem with that? Attack interval 4, splash targets 4, large area splash. Do you care? No, you don't. Or you shouldn't. Melee defense is 8, which should tell you all you need to know about Luminark's melee. Weapon strength is on par with a basic swordsman unit, as in one man. Charge bonus is 18. Let's set this aside and get to the fun part. Ranged. Ammunition starts out at 14 by default, with a range of 320 meters and missile damage rated at 2,045. Let's break that number down further, while nodding to it being flaming attack and magical attack as we might expect. Base missile damage is 495. Armor piercing missile damage is 855. There is also an explosion effect with a detonation radius of 6 meters, with 270 base damage and 630 armor piercing damage within that radius. So though this is a single entity, if it hits the center of a Chaos Warrior unit, it will leave a mess. Shots per volley? 1. Projectile count? 1. It's a laser? 1B. Reload time is 11. You may notice the tooltip mentions a low rate of fire. This is inaccurate. It has a long firing time. The reload isn't so bad, and the beams travel fast, but the shots take a long time. And between line of sight issues and interruptibility, and I will be blunt, highly finicky unit AI, you get problems. Total accuracy is listed as 300. The default, if you've paid attention to this series, is 20. Calibration distance is 200, meaning that it loses accuracy rapidly beyond 200 meters by default. I don't know if calibration distance extends when you extend maximum range, but I also don't remember the Empire extending artillery range, like other factions, so it's not a big deal here. Calibration area is 1, and that should be the spread of the shots, so couldn't this thing be pinpoint accurate, and decently accurate from 201 to 320 meters in-game? Well, you're going to have to view the footage to make accurate assessments of that. There are 2 special abilities the Luminarks possess. One is an Aura of Protection that gives 10% damage resistance to everything in a 35-meter radius, so that's 10% less damage from all sources flat out. How nice! Note that this requires Winds of Magic 15 or greater. Locus of Hysh reduces the power recharge rate for the enemy, if the enemy even has spellcasters, obviously, by 20%. There's no downside here, and in effect, it makes your units hard to spell snipe. Let's recap from my Mortars video. In the standard lore line, the aptly named Imperial Gunnery will grant you a maximum of plus 20% ammunition and plus 8% missile strength. Note, this is strength, not a decrease in reload time. This is a difference from other factions, and means you are hitting harder, but not depleting your ammunition any faster. Artillery Master gives rank 7 vets and above, plus 20% more ammunition, 12% more missile strength, and 10% reload time reduction. The part I just said was missing from the 3 pip part. The tech tree gives you a little more, but they're more of the same, doing 10% more ammo, 8% reload time reduction, and 8% bonus missile strength. So there are basically 3 things to emphasize for all of this. 1. Since your ammo starts out lower than other artillery and weapon strength is S tier or Sigmar tier level, these buffs just serve to make Luminarks even deadlier, if they get their shots off. 2. These are flaming attacks, therefore Kindle Flame and other flame weakness you can create will add further to the damage. Even a basic fireball at the same target by a 3rd level Bright Wizard will do. I'm being specific because I've done it. 3. The real problem with this unit is getting the shots off. What I'm seeing here is the fickleness from 1 and 2, not appreciably fixed. Even a single Luminark left to its own devices off to the side can be devastating to the foe, but that's only if it has time to get its shots off. In Warhammer 3, with all ranged units firing more slowly, this is simply difficult to pull off. Being an Empire player, you probably have some kind of direct armor-piercing attack in your repertoire. Handgunners, Outriders, something like that, but they don't fire at 320 range now, do they? The issue here is, can you diminish a very dangerous opponent flying at you, like a Sun Dragon or a Terrorgeist, enough you can finish it off effectively? That's the kind of scenario you will face in reality. What about other downsides? Obviously, being a single entity is an issue, but a basic menace below can make a Luminark miserable, and the fact is, it's awful in melee. Its armor makes it slightly less flimsy, but concentrated crossbowmen attacks turn it into a junk pile pretty quickly regardless. Basically, it's specialized at a job, and if it's expected to do other jobs, your mileage will be reduced by a ton. Also, direct fire has its disadvantages. Even lasers can't burn through hill ridges, hence why I mentioned flying enemies. All that said, the shots do have some elevation to them, so your front lines won't be murdered by unfriendly fire that easily. And yes, they make for a sick burn on your foes. Also, it's downright cruel to use them against enemies that are inherently flammable, like, let's say, the titular Tomb Kings leading their armies. In that case, you bring 3. It's a difficult unit to use effectively, and it's also pricey, so the safest strategy is to bring 1, hope it cleaves off a nice chunk of HP from a high-value target, and not overinvest. Also keep in mind the role of skirmish cavalry or lord/hero work to stretch the battlefield and give them time to fire. And if all else fails, net the foe. It helps. A lot. Take care, and have fun burning a name for yourself in history.